seconds.
Perfect. I think we're on. Brilliant. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Friday Lunchtime Live with Target Transfers. Today, we are talking all about how to start a t-shirt business from scratch. So we're going to take you through the entire process from coming up with your brand or your business name, to what you want to sell, who you're selling to, what products you're making, and even how you're going to sell. So whether it's through like Shopify or Etsy, if you're going to have like an Instagram business, and then marketing that as well. So if starting a t-shirt business is something you've been thinking about doing for a little while, this video is going to be very, very helpful for all of you. So before we get started, if anyone is watching from anywhere in particular today, let us know where you're watching from. Shout out any questions in the comments. We'll be more than happy to answer them as we go through. I'm joined by Andy today as well. So there's two of us to answer all of your questions. So should we get straight into the brand name idea?
Let's go for it.
Cool. So the first thing I wanted to cover when starting a garment decoration business is whether or not you want your business to be a brand for yourself, or whether or not you want a fulfillment business, which essentially is providing other brands with their branded products, or providing, for example, levers prints to a school, that kind of thing. So if you have a design idea in mind, or a particular brand image that you want to create, and you want to create your own brand, then that is 100% doable with heat printing. It's probably one of the best methods to produce that for those kind of garments as well. But fulfillment is also a very profitable way to make money from your heat press. Something that we have seen a lot of people do over the years is actually do both. So they'll run like a clothing brand or their own brand on one side, and then behind the scenes, just to, top up the profit margins to keep that business going while they're building their brand, they will run sort of fulfillment on the side. So both of these things are relevant when you're starting a business, purely because if you're going to invest in something like a heat press, like the one I have next to me, this is the Hotronix Auto Open. Even if you solely want to build a brand and have your own clothing brand or sports brand or something like that, if you have this piece of equipment, there's so many things you can do in terms of garment decoration and printing for other people and other brands and other companies, that you should really be maximizing the full potential of the heat press, right?
That's it. The great thing about heat transfers is you can say yes to anything, really. So that's why that blend can be really useful for you.
Yes, so we are going to show you how to do both today. As Andy said, heat transfers can do both of them, and it's super, super easy. So we will take you through exactly how to do that. But yeah, first and foremost, just plan out, what you want to do, what your end goal is with this, and every possible stream of income you can have from your heat press. Because when you're starting out, you want to be able to, create your brand and build that, but also you need to be able to financially support that as well. So having both as a bit of a funnel is very, very profitable. Is that kind of it on brand name? That's all I kind of wanted to cover. Go into products.
I think so.
Okay. So the next thing is figuring out your target market, aka who you want to sell to. It's all very well having a product in mind or a particular design that you want to execute, but if you don't know who you're aiming your product at, your sales might not be as significant as they could be. So really sort of refining your target audience is a best bet for that. That's a great tip. Do you have any comments on that one?
I think the main thing is obviously you can say yes to anything with heat transfers, which is the great thing. But obviously when you're first starting out, is you still do want to have a balance of, you want to kind of stick to your core business as well. So when we say you could say yes to any job, and you should, if it's something that's relevant to what you're doing, but you shouldn't say on your first day you started your print shop and after Molly tells you everything you need to know, you shouldn't say yes to 1,000 jobs, because you won't be able to fulfill them all, and then you'll have a negative effect. So say more yeses incrementally as you grow your business is probably the best way to look at it.
That's a very good piece of advice, yes. And just sort of honing in on, like I said, who you're actually selling to makes it easier for not only for you to sell your products, but to create your products as well. So if you're selling to, I don't know, like a music brand or something along those lines, that design of t-shirt or jumper is going to be very different to like a workwear, for example. So making sure you know your target market and know what they like. And one way to do this as well is to look at trends and things like that. So we are going to move on to the blanks of garments, and Andy's going to take you through where to find like the most up-to-date trend products and things like that. So but the third thing, so once you've figured out your brand and what you're doing and who you're selling to, the next thing is what you're actually selling. So this is the main chunk of this live video. So we're going to be doing which products you want to make. So whether that be, I have some examples here, whether that be t-shirts like this one, camera's that side, sorry, or whether it's sweatshirts like this. You can see here two very different styles of garment, but they were created in pretty much the same way. And they're really easy, really high quality. Like it doesn't take much to create custom garments just like this one. So deciding on a product. Now, there are quite a few different variations of things that you can heat print onto. So t-shirts and sweatshirts obviously being the main ones. You can do tote bags, you can do hats. We've got some examples here. This is one with a badge on. And we've also got, this is one with a transfer as well. Can you see that? Yeah, so one with a transfer. So there really is like no limit to what you can heat print onto, providing the garment can take heat is the general rule of thumb. It can be heat applied onto. Yeah,
and just if you just keep start out, we'll go through some of the brands and stuff in a bit, but it's just keep it simple to start off with, because everything, like Molly says, everything can be printed onto. It's just a case of technique and how far along you are with the understanding of how to use your heat press.
Yes, and also the limitations. We'll get into decoration methods shortly, but the actual capabilities of what you can print now. So this is an example of one of our full color transfers, but as you can see, the colors in that, there's so many colors. It's very similar to the one I'm wearing as well. There's sort of no limit on what you can achieve, and it's very cost effective to create this kind of high quality full color print now. So that's another bonus as well. So first and foremost, let's say, for example, you want to heat print t-shirts. So I have a couple of options here. I have a black and a green one, and we're going to apply two different types of heat decoration to this. So we're going to start with heat transfer. So all you have to do is take your t-shirt. This is just a Bella Canvas one. We really like their tees. They're very soft, feel very high quality. And the good thing is that you can tear these neck labels out as well, and you can rebrand them. So if you just really gently pull, they just come out like that. And then you can put your own branding in the neck label. So straight away you have like a blank t-shirt to use. First step is obviously you need your heat press and you need your garment. So in order to heat print, you obviously need your heat press, and finding a good quality one and one that will grow with your business is key. So that's obviously why Hotronix is here with us today. For those of you that are fairly new to our lives, if you haven't joined us before, Target Transfers are Hotronix UK. We are the UK home of Hotronix here. So we're like the main distributor. We hold the biggest stock in the UK. We have next day delivery. So anything and everything for Hotronix is all about us, and they are the world's leading heat presses as well. So anything from pressure adjustment to changing the platens, anything like that is all around Hotronix. So the first step is to just apply the t-shirt onto the heat press like so. And we're going to give it a pre-press because this has quite a few creases in it at the moment. So we just want to get rid of those, get rid of any moisture that's in the garment, ready to apply the transfer onto it. This also allows us to test the pressure as well, because dependent on what garment is under there, sometimes the pressure would be a bit high or a bit low. So that's slightly too low. So I'm just going to increase it slightly. Perfect. So that's on a 6 at the moment, which is the higher end of medium, but that's absolutely fine. Now comes the main event. So this is the heat transfer that we're going to go with today. So as you can see, this is just a full color design on like a carrier sheet, and it has adhesive on the back. So how this works is you go onto our EasyView system, which Andy is going to walk you through in a moment, and upload your design and place order. It's as simple as that. And then we print them into these transfers, which you then apply using your heat press. So that's literally all it takes to start a custom t-shirt printing business. So as you can see, this one has got a lot of color in it. It's got a lot of detail. And we're going to apply this in literally 12 seconds to the t-shirt. So just place it down on there. You don't technically have to use release paper with this transfer because it's a hot peel, but best practice, we always like to. And this takes 12 seconds at 145 degrees on a Hotronics, and that's it. It'll be done.
While you're letting the fuse go, Molly, we've got a starting of a question, but we're just missing the rest of it. So hey, you just make sure you get the rest of your question. They started. I would like to start a t-shirt business, but and we haven't got the rest of it. So please leave the rest of your question, because we would love to hear lots of these questions. We know that some of you that are joining us today will have doubts about starting a t-shirt business, or be thinking perhaps this is sounds too good to be true. But that's why we're here today, is to answer all of your questions. Even if you think they're a silly question, please let us know, because we'd love to help you and learn more about what you're up to.
Exactly. So there we have it. This is, I've just hot peeled that, and that's on that t-shirt. You can see if I twist this, how soft and thin that finish is. Super, super high quality. Everyone can see that. Yeah. So that looks absolutely phenomenal. Left chest print there on a t-shirt, done. So, you know, it was that quick, it was that easy. And yeah, the color, the detail, everything on there, and that took 12 seconds. So regardless of your design and what you want to print, transfers can do it for you. So that's that was really the first step. It's that simple. I feel like I should be saying more, but there's not really a lot else to it. So that's the t-shirt side of things. I do have a demonstration on the vinyl side of things as well. Just double check, sports film's 150, right? 160, 150. So I'm just going to up the temperature on the press by literally 5 degrees.
Sorry, 160 for 5 seconds.
160. Oh, okay. Then we're going to up it for, hold on, by 15. Bear with me. So while that's heating, 35, yeah. So while that's coming up to temperature, it won't take too long at all. I just want to talk about the differences between decoration methods. So the custom transfers, which we have just used here, another example as well. So yeah, the custom transfers, which are these, you upload your designs onto our EasyView system. We print them for you and ship them to you like this, basically. And then all you have to do is apply them. Heat transfer vinyl is similar in the sense that you can get your custom designs onto garments, but you have to cut and weave them yourself. So this is an example of some vinyl that Beth has weeded earlier for me. So we've just done sort of the Styles logo in blue. But what you do with this is you run a sheet. So we sell it either by the meter or you can buy it in rolls. And you just run the material through like a vinyl cutting machine, cut out all of the lines, and then you pull away all of the excess. So it's a slightly more complicated process, but it depends what you're doing. So some people prefer vinyl, some people prefer transfers, but either way, we are, like I said, the UK home of Styles Hotronics. So we have the world's leading vinyl. We manufacture the world's leading heat transfers here in Braintree on site. So whatever decoration method you prefer, we have an option for that. So yeah, this is the heat transfer vinyl that we are going to use when the heat press does come up to temp. It's nearly there. It's on 152.
So for anyone, obviously, hopefully a lot of you are perhaps new to this, everything to do with garment decorating of any kind is very specific. So even if you're doing embroidery or any other decorating technique, it's all very specific. You should need to follow recipes all the time. And it's particularly important for heat transfers and heat transfer vinyl that there's an adhesive on the back of everything, and that is designed to unlock at a very specific time and temperature and pressure. And that's how you get high quality garments. So the reason that Molly's waiting for the heat press to come up to temperature rather than be like, okay, it's close enough, it's 5 degrees, is that 5 degrees is very important. And that's why it's always important to get a good quality machine, because then that way you can have peace of mind that everything you're doing is going to stay on there for the lifetime of that garment then. Because even when you're first starting out, you want to have really good high quality finishes, because that's how you're going to get repeat business.
Exactly, yes. So we're on 158, so very nearly there. And the Hotronics machines are incredibly accurate when it comes to heat, aren't they? So yeah, every single point on this top part of the heated platen, will be 160 degrees over the entire thing. So there's no cold spots on there. So regardless of whether you're fusing your transfer as a left chest or whether it's a full front or full back or whatever the print is, every single part of that transfer or that heat transfer vinyl will be getting the same amount of heat for the application, which is exactly what we're after. So we're up to temperature now. So I'm just going to take another Bella Canvas t-shirt. I'm going to use black this time so that we can see the blue design. And threading it on. One of my favorite features about this heat press is the threadability that the caddy stand offers. So we have got this heat press on a caddy stand, which means you can move it around and adjust the height of it, but it also allows you to thread the t-shirt on. So rather than just, if you've watched heat printing videos online before, not our heat printing videos, other people's, you will have seen them grab the t-shirt and just kind of go like that and print with, you know, both layers of the t-shirt on the platen. This is technically not best practice. The pressure can be out, you can get really bad scorch marks. It just doesn't create a high quality garment, which is obviously what you want to be offering your customers. So what we do is we pull the t-shirt apart like so and thread it onto the heat press so that the bottom of the t-shirt hangs off below it like so. So you can see here the bottom of it is nowhere near the area that we're going to heat apply to. So just make sure that all of the seams are off there. And we're going to pre-press this again, like I say, best practice. So the pressure should be the same because we are putting another t-shirt on. If we'd have put a sweatshirt on there, it might be ever so slightly, it needs to be lightened ever so slightly because the pressure is so accurate that, you know, it can sense the transfer and the release paper. So if you put a slightly thicker garment in, you will need to adjust it ever so slightly. So it's pretty much good to go. So we're going to be using sports film heat transfer vinyl today. This feels new for me. We don't often use vinyl in lives at the moment. But yeah, we're using sports film today, which only takes 5 seconds to apply, which is one of my favorite things, and it's a hot peel. So I'm just going to place that onto the t-shirt, grab my release paper and fuse it for 5 seconds, and then it's hot peel. So that's all it takes. Okay. Pull that off. That's very satisfying. And there you have a vinyl decorated t-shirt. So as you can see from both of these decoration methods, both are very, very high quality. Like you can see here, that's just very, very soft, smooth finish. Is that focused? Yeah. Yeah, so whichever decoration method you prefer, it doesn't really matter. It comes down to personal preference, what you're creating, what your customers want. Quite a lot of people, if they do personalization, they tend to go for vinyl because they can cut just like one name out or a number or whatever it may be. Transfers maybe for more full color designs. It really does depend on your preference, but we have plenty of videos comparing the two. So if that's something you would like to talk to us more about, do let us know. We have a question. Shall we jump in on that one?
Yeah. They would like to know, can I order heat transfer vinyl the way I do heat transfers, upload a design on your platform and you produce them?
No.
So the short answer is we don't, but we do have lots of speciality finishes. So one of the reasons you might choose cutting vinyl over having a heat transfer is if you want to have a special finish, and it's normally because you perhaps want a glitter vinyl, or you're just doing lots of big block numbers, and you can just do that yourself through a cutter, or you want to use a high build vinyl, which is really thick. But we can cover pretty much everything from a transfer point of view, because our 1 to 5 color transfers, we have a special range of metallics and shimmerings, which cover quite a lot of vinyl possibilities, and they all stretch and they all have rebounds, and they're all very durable. They wash just as well as absolutely any other decoration technique. So you can get glittery and shimmery finishes that way. Just look for metallic or shimmer in the color name. Alternatively, the ultra color, you can pick any color. So you can match all of our vinyl colors to a transfer type very easily as well. So you can cover pretty much everything as a transfer, apart from some of the glitter finishes and the high build for the most part anyway. But like Molly says, there's some very good videos we did with the Graphtec and Silhouette machines on our YouTube channel. You can go back and watch to see before you buy. If you think the vinyl is a route you want to go down, have a look at the cutter videos to see how easy it is to do and see if that fits your method. Generally speaking, if it's just like a block color, something smooth like Molly did, once you get to 10 or more units, we recommend switching to a heat transfer anyway, just because it will be a lot easier for you and a lot more cost effective, because you won't spend all your time weeding, which is really important, especially when you're first starting out, that you kind of optimize all your time and efficiencies very well.
Perfect. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about was obviously having a variety of garments. So we've fused onto t-shirts, but we're obviously in the UK and it gets very, very chilly from time to time. So we need hoodies and jumpers and sweatshirts. So I'm going to fuse onto a sweatshirt today as well. This is probably something that you should consider adding to your product range if you're going to heat print, because obviously t-shirts are fantastic and everyone lives in t-shirts, but I think sweats are definitely coming around to their own at the moment and that they're becoming a lot more trendy. So we're going to fuse onto one of these. So this is a Just Hoods sweat. This is actually the, where are we? This is a JH030 sweatshirt. Now these are the ones that we wear for the podcast. So a lot of experience fusing these ones already. So same principle with the sweatshirt. We're just going to thread it onto the heat press like so, making sure that all of the seams and zips are off the platen just for accurate pressure. And we're going to give it a pre-press. Just bringing the time back up to 12 seconds because we're switching back to heat transfers for this. So see, now that pressure is way too high. So I'm just going to twist this dial in the middle of the press. And I'm just going to bring the timer down so that it doesn't lock for 12 seconds. This just allows us to test the pressure. And see, that's on a 6, which is perfect. So actually, I think I'm going to do vinyl on this one because I think the Stars vinyl will look quite good. So we've done that. Let's do a 5-second fuse. Perfect. So like I say, we've done the pre-press.
One of the things you'll notice when Molly's doing this fusing is just how easy it is to do. Everything with garment decorating should be easy. You shouldn't be spending all your time when you start a business trying to tame a beast of a machine. It should be straightforward so you can stick to branding and social media and lots of the more important things that will actually bring more business into your business. Yes,
exactly. So going to use the same vinyl on this sweatshirt. So I'm going to put it on the front. I've already done the pre-press, so no need to worry about that. I'm going to do it roughly 4 to 5 fingers down so that it's just in the right position. Grab that release paper again. We do sell this on the website as well in like bulk packs. So this is A3. You can get a 4, I think there's like 50 sheet packs. So it will never be without release paper. Place that over the transfer and we're going to fuse it for 5 seconds at 160 degrees. And this is the Sports Film Extra vinyl for those of you wondering. So this is the most common, most like the favorite one for just generic cotton, polycotton garments. So peeling that straight off, hot peel. We love a hot peel. And there you have a custom Styles jumper. It was that easy. And that looks very, very good. Good high quality finish there. Where's the camera? There we go. We have another question. So do you produce puff heat transfers like your sister company in the US? We don't currently produce puff transfers. The closest thing we have is probably the 3D vinyl, dependent on what route you're going down. But if you want to discuss like chunkier options, yeah, vinyl is probably your best bet at the moment. Okay, so that's pretty much how to print t-shirts and sweatshirts. It's just as simple as picking which decoration method you want to use and ordering them online and fusing them with your heat press. So do we want to go over the different blank types now? So obviously we've gone over where to get the custom transfers and the heat presses, but obviously you need to know where to get your blanks from. So Andy's just going to quickly take you through that.
Yeah, so one of the things we're very conscious of, everyone that's starting a business, there's a lot to take in and there's a lot to learn about. We want to try and make it as easy as there is for you as possible, because it's a really exciting industry and a really exciting new career path potentially for a lot of you, because It's a chance to be your own boss, but it's a chance to work in something that's really creative and really interesting and really fun, being a garment decorating, having a t-shirt brand or fulfillment company. And it's really not that complicated. So one of the things we're going to do is just talk about how easy it is to get everything. Because as Molly showed you, there's only really 3 things you really need: is a blank, you need a blank piece of apparel, you need a heat press, and you need a heat transfer. And then you can have a heat print on demand business. You don't even really need to be doing more than one at a time to start off with if you really don't want to. It can be really, really that simple. So what I've opened up in front of you, we've just gone to rallowise.com because I wanted to show you how easy it is to get hold of t-shirts. That's one of the questions we get asked a lot is, okay, you've shown us how to heat print, you've shown us how to use a heat transfer, and I can see how fantastic they look, but where do I go for t-shirts, and is it easy? And the answer is yes. There's lots of wholesalers in the UK, and the biggest one is Rallowise. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about them, we've had them on the podcast previously, and they've kind of gone into detail about what it's like to work with them, some of the people behind the scenes, and how easy it is to get started, because it's very easy. So you've just gone to shop.rallowise.com, and when you're on this page, you can see all of the different product types. So you can go by product type. So depending on what type of business you've got, you can either search for shirts or knitwear or joggers, or you can search by brand. So for instance, Molly was working with some of the Just Cool stuff there. The Just Tees, was it, Molly? You had?
Just Hoods.
Just Hoods, right?
Yes.
There we go. So you can search by brand, and you can see there's loads and loads of big brands on there. So orders. Anyone that joined us last week would have enjoyed the Instagram live that we did together with Ordis, or you've got Bella Canvas that we've worked with before, and Beachfield, which we work with quite a lot at the moment when you have a big event coming on with them. So all you would do is go and click on a product or a brand, and straight away you're greeted with all of your different product types. And that way you can see straight away all the different types, lots of different colors, and lots of different pricing. It's all very transparent. So as you get started, it's very easy to kind of figure out things before you even need to spend that first penny, which is really important, is to move sensibly with this and to pick the right choices. So let's say, for instance, which was the particular product that you had, Molly?
Which one was it?
Yeah,
The Just Hoods one
yeah.
was JH030.
So there we go. That's nice and easy. It's there at the top there. Or you can search by the product name. So if you hear us talking about a particular product, you can just search in the navigation bar, and straight away you can find it. So you can see you've got the product there. You can see all the different sizes options you've got. So you can something to think about when you're starting a brand is how many different sizes you want to offer. So you've got anything from extra small all the way to 5XL. So you've got lots and lots of flexibility. And in this particular product, you've got lots and lots of different color options. So I think they've got like up to 80 color options on some of their products. So there's lots to choose from depending on how you want to pitch your brand or fulfillment company. So do you want to pick a color, Molly, and we'll
pick
tell
a color?
Yeah.
Let's go with the bright blue one in the middle. I can't see what color
Hawaiian
name
blue.
it is from here. Okay.
So we're going to go with Hawaiian blue. You'll click on Hawaiian blue, and it'll tell you exactly how many of those are in stock. So this is something that's worth considering when you're starting a business. Is if you're picking a blank from a blanks company, is don't pick one that's going to go out of stock soon, or one that is end of line because it's cheaper, because you might find you can't get the same product again next month when you want to order.
Yeah, that's not a great
No,
option,
but
is it?
This will tell you how many is in stock. It will tell you how much it costs to buy just one. So remember, most of these blanks companies, I know this includes Rallowise, you can order one. So you can order one t-shirt or one hoodie or one of a few different types to get started with. So that way you can test items before you need to commit to a whole run or something that is your identity. And you can see the pricing. So if you order one, or you order 6, or you order a carton of 36, the price is all very transparent. You can say, I want that many of that, and then you can pick the color, and you can even get a Pantone color for it. So if you wanted to match it with one of our 1 to 5 color Pantone inks, you can do that as well. So it's just how easy it is to find access to blank garments. You just go onto a website, pick the product you want, pick the color you want, and pick the quantities you want. And that's it. You can do that for every single brand. So that's how we did it for Just Hoods. You could do it for Bella Canvas if you wanted to get some different t-shirts. Again, you just see, okay, that's what it's going to cost. It's going to cost from $275. I pick a color, so let's just pick black. And you can see there's thousands of them in stock, and you can see the price that they're going to cost. So that's something that's worth bearing in mind, is it's very cheap. So £3.26 for a t-shirt is very reasonable for a premium t-shirt. And as you start to get nerdier about being a garment decorator, you'll start to recognize a lot of these t-shirts in the shops, and you'll be like, oh, that's the t-shirt that I just fused on earlier for £3.26. And then you can start to kind of understand the market, and it's actually a lot more within your reach than you might realize. It's very easy to get started and to find products that even the professionals using. Bella Canvas are the second biggest blank supplier in the whole world. Orders that we were looking at the moment, it's one of the biggest suppliers in Europe as well. So they are the products that the professionals are using, and they're at your fingertips. And it could be from $275, and transfers are really cheap to put on top of that. So, and then you could sell that product for £15-20, something very reasonable from a profit margin point of view. So possibilities are really endless that way. So that's how easy it is to find blank garments, is just to go onto a website, pick a product once. So you could let's shop by activewear and performance wear. And then again, you can see all the different options across all the different brands, and you could just pick a polo shirt, see your options for it, pick a color, and you can see how many are in stock and what it's going to cost you. So really, really simple to get your blank garments. And a lot of these will ship next day if you order by 5. I know that you've ordered some stuff recently, Molly, haven't you? And it was here next day, I believe.
I think we ordered it at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was here the following morning. Like the shipping at Ralawise is pretty spot on, yeah.
And everything we do is always via one of these companies, because it's just so easy. And it's the advice that we give to absolutely everyone that comes in this door, from startups to even the most experienced companies that looking for more options that make it very easy for you. And they'll have lots of great options like Marketing Hub to get images of this blank stuff as well. So that way you can download blank versions of their brochures and give it to your customers. So if you're thinking of going down the fulfillment route, you've got access to marketing products as well. So it's really, really easy. Actually, a question for you, Molly, while you're...
Yeah.
Someone would like to know if they can put their own neck label on the JH030. So
do you know what? I actually don't know if these are tearaways. Should we give it a try? I don't think they are. I'm going to attempt to rip this out. Let me actually pull it in a bit closer so you can see. Oh, they are. Okay, well, that's a new discovery. Yes, you can take the labels out of JH030s or any Just Goods. Actually, I'm going to try the other one now. We have another one here. It's a completely different style, but I'm curious. Okay, so this is a JH001. This is one of the most popular hoodies for like levers transfers. We use these. There goes the release paper. We've used these a lot. So let's attempt to pull out this tag. Beth, your hand is in the receiver and I can't see the camera. Yeah, you can. They pop out really easily. So there you go. That answers your question. Yes, you can. Okay. Okay, while we're on, are you finished on the Ralawise front?
I can be, yes. You're going to move on to another fuse?
No, I was going to say, do you want to cover Easy View and the where to buy heat transfer vinyl while we're on screen share for people watching?
So if anyone's got any more questions, we can go back. We've got one on Philip. So always good to see you, Philip.
Hi, Phil.
Ralawise is one of his go-to companies for blank garments, and you know, if anyone knows anything about testing blank garments, it's probably Phil. You should go and check out our podcast from a little while ago when he
tested
breaks it down.
Literally everything.
Yeah, exactly. The lengths people can go to test, and it's an important lesson that Phil was a great advocate for is test, and try and break stuff, especially when you're first starting.
Yeah.
Because you can learn a lot. So I've moved over to targettransfers.com now, because I just want to show you it's really, really easy to get hold of the main equipment for it and give you some ideas on pricing as well. So we are part of the Hotronics group, part of the Styles group, so the world's leading heat presses. And this is not just for volume, this is for quality as well. So Molly's showing you just how easy it is to do that, and there's no smoke and mirrors with that. We want to make your life easy, and that's why we've made the machines easy and accurate to use. and everything is in stock. So Molly was using the auto open heat press, and we've got loads of them in stock. We've just had a big container turn up, because that means that you can order by 4 o'clock and get it next day for your machine. So it means that if you're thinking of starting out and you like tomorrow's the day, order by 4 o'clock and it'll be with you, ready to go. Or if you need to add another one, it's all there. And it's really, really easy. You just go and find the auto open heat press. You pick a size depending on where your business is going to go, and it gives you a very transparent price. You just add VAT and it'll ship you to.
And that, sorry to interrupt you, Andy, but that video on there is a much more in-depth talk through of all of the heat press features and what you should look for when buying a heat press, everything that Auto Open offers. It's probably about 5 or 6 minutes long, and it's Andy talking through the entire heat press as well. So definitely worth watching that before you make your purchase decision.
Exactly. And if you really want to get your business in a box, head over to the Heat Press Bundles page, because we've got some fantastic offers on at the moment. And some of these have just been extended for the rest of this month, so for the entirety of June. So if you're thinking about getting started out with the Auto Open, for instance, you can get £200 of heat transfer credit included. So that's more than double what you'd normally get. But it means you can have the whole setup, because apart from a laptop, which is in front of the camera, that's the only other piece of equipment you need to have a heat print on demand or fulfillment company or clothing brand. Blank garments, a heat press, heat transfers, and a laptop to run the rest of your business on, and you're good to go. So we've got lots and lots of options which you can customize to match what you want to do, and they're all available in stock, and they can ship next working day. So if you've got questions about that, please feel free to leave a comment or get in touch.
Phil's just bigging up our ultra color transfers in the comments, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, so we were going to cover the transfers in a minute, but yeah, Phil was doing some fantastic jobs with full color transfers, and that's definitely one of the ways to go. So that's how easy it is to get hold of a heat press, and it's how you can get all the equipment you need. And you can even get that first transfer job for free at the moment. So yeah, fantastic deal, if I may say so.
You may say so.
I may say so. Okay. And the other element, so the third part, so we've gone through, got Ralawise for your clothing, targettransfers.com for the only equipment you could ever need. And then if we go to custom.targettransfers.com, this is where you get the heat transfer. One of the most important parts of your business is selecting the right transfer. And Molly's showing you how easy it is to get a product to apply, and that's all it takes. That's going to last for 75 plus washes. We've industrially tested that to make sure it lasts and lasts. And here's how easy it is to order transfer. So you pick whether it's going to be 1 to 5 color, which is block colors. This is Pantone matched. The question earlier about special finishes, we can do the metallics and shimmerings in the 1 to 5 color, because it's a very traditional ink process. We have a full color option if you're going to be doing volume. So volume, we say, is 10 or more, to be honest with you. Or if you just want to order one, you can order one giant ultra color max direct to film heat transfer sheet, which is 55 by 55 centimeters, and that can ship next day. But one thing I want to show you, so you can easily get a £29 order to get your first transfer order. But as you progress, you want to order more and more, you start to get into ultra color. When you're ordering ultra color, it's worth remembering there's 8 different layout options here. The reason there's 8 layouts is because sometimes you want it pre-cut. So like the transfers Molly was applying on the left chest, she had those pre-cut because she knew that she was going to be doing volume with those. And then, or you can order a gang sheet when you fill up a giant A3 layout and with as many transfers as you want. And then you can bring that cost down per transfer. So it's really, really easy. Just pick the product you want. You add a design. So let me just log in so you can get my library. One of the great things is this is essentially it's your virtual assistant for you. So you just log in and straight away you get access to every design you've ever used. So that way, no matter if you're reordering or adding other jobs in, it's really, really easy. So let's add one of these ultra color logos in. It can be lots of different file types as well. So like EPS, PNG, JPEG, or PDF, really, really easy. So anyone can get started with artwork. We're not going to go into detail about artworking today, but we do have some great previous lives with Dane Clement, where he goes through how to set up an artwork board so you can get it right every single time, which I'd encourage you to go back and watch, because they're about 45 minutes themselves. So we go in depth to make it really easy for you. But basically, you just upload a logo, put as many as you want on here. So I'm going to add a few on here just to show you how easy it is to do. And so no one makes fun of my gang sheet ability again. I'm sure that lots of you want to do that. So let's add,
for demonstration purposes,
let's add one of our own logos on there. And you can make them small, you can make them big. But the great thing is, if you've uploaded a small logo and you think you can get away with going too big, it's going to tell you made it too big and it's going to blur. So we try and make that. So I say we make it your virtual assistant, so that way you can put lots and lots of quality logos on there, but we'll let you know if you've made a mistake. So we don't want you to have bad quality artwork. We want you to have perfect artwork and perfect designs every single time. So let's add this one on there. So again, now we're up to 4 designs on there already. I'm just going to duplicate a few of these. So you just copy and paste if you've got lots of the same one. And that way you can just keep adding it and adding it and adding it. But what this means is, because we're not going to charge you anything extra for the more logos you want, because you want to make it easy when you first get started, we just say this layout is your layout to do with what as you wish. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on there. So even if you're ordering a minimum amount of 10, which is £5.99 per sheet, you've got 6 on there. So that really means they're only £1 each. Which I think when you're getting first started, if someone said to you, it costs you £3.26 for a t-shirt, £1 for the design that goes on it, I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. And we've not even got into volume, because if I was to make that 100, the price comes down again to £3 a layout, and it's only going to be 50p. And I've not even put loads of designs on here. So it's really, really easy to get cheap prices with high quality, because these are the longest lasting heat transfers anywhere in the world. The easiest way to get hold of them in the UK, because we can ship within 2 working days on these. And the Ultracolor Max ships next working day. So even if you actually start your business and you want to grow sensibly, it's very easy to kind of go bit by bit, order small amounts at a time, and then when something is successful, then you can go to volume, and then you can really push it. And that way you can be very sensible with how you grow your startup t-shirt business. Oh, I've got a compliment. Thanks to Phil, but I've got a compliment on my gang sheet skills, so I appreciate that, Phil. And it's very nice to hear that he's getting on very well with the Ultracolor products. And the full color revolution, which a lot of you would have seen over the last couple of years, has made it very easy for everyone to get started with having their own clothing brand, their own fulfillment company, because everything's at your fingertips now. It's really, really, really easy. All you need is that machine next to Molly. And we've got options for every kind of user. So even if you want to start off small, or if you want to have a finance option, every single heat press over £1,000 is available on finance as well. So you don't even have to commit to lots of money up front on anything anymore.
No, and it's minimum order of 1 for garments and transfers, like you said. So
yeah,
really, really low cost entry. The only other thing to add really is where you're going to sell your products from. So it could be, we have quite a few customers who literally just sell their products on Instagram. The biggest thing with that is obviously to have like some sort of CRM system with customer data, Andy's favorite topic, because if your Instagram suddenly disappears or something happens to it, you want to have a backup data of all your customers so that you don't lose your entire business in one day. You could also sell on Shopify, Etsy. You could build an entire website with like a host or something like that. There's so many different ways to do it. Again, a bit like whether you use vinyl or transfers, it comes down to personal preference. So have a bit of a research into those hosting platforms and see which one is going to work best for you. And where your customers are as well, depending on what you're selling. If you're selling like more custom crafty bits, Etsy might be the way to go. And if you want more of like a brand, it might be Shopify. It just depends. But I think that's everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I just wanted to take everyone from the like the initial starting point all the way through to having a brand or a fulfillment company, because it's the main question that we get at the moment. Which heat press is best for beginners? How do I get started? What garments do you recommend? All of that. So hopefully we've covered all of that in today's video. If anyone does have any further questions, don't hesitate to let us know in the comments or get in touch with us. And I think that's everything.
The only thing I was going to say is anyone that's watching today that's interested in learning more about heat printing and like to get hands-on with it, or speak to some of us in person in a bit more detail, we do have a fantastic event coming up at the end of this month. It's Headwear Live. It is predominantly based around hat printing, but that could be some of you thinking about starting a hat business, which you could very easily make a very profitable business just selling hats, because there's a lot of margin in those. We will be doing a live event, and there'll be a morning and an afternoon session, so you can sign up for one or both of those. Come down to Target HQ here in Braintree in Essex. We're not very far from Stansted, so it's very easy for anyone to get to. And we're going to be having some of the biggest companies here with us. So we have Beachfield will be headlining with us, and they are the leading supplier in Europe of headwear, bags, and lots of other accessories like that, which are great additional products for your business and great ways to get started. Rallywise, that we featured earlier, will be here as well. So if you'd like to speak to someone from Rallywise and get a bit more in depth about the buying process of blank garments and some tips and advice from them, you can do that. We'll have Graph Tech here, so anyone's interested in vinyl cutters and learning more about vinyl, we'll be discussing that, and there'll be so much more than that. So we're happy to answer questions from any of you about stuff that's unrelated to headwear at the event as well. Just come and join us for either the morning or the afternoon. It's going to be about 2.5 hours each time, but there'll be lots of great talks. We'll go in depth about how to be successful, and you'll have networking time with others, like-minded people that are thinking about doing the same thing, or those that are already an existing business and looking to add headwear in, but you can take advice and learn from others. It's going to be a really great day of events. So make sure you join us for that if you're thinking about starting and you've got more questions. But that's it from me.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
No, that's everything. Thank you very much to everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss next week's live. And